Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to go over the Venus, the newest ethereal hero. So her synergies are pretty bad because nobody cares about the Enchanter's rune synergy. It's the worst rune synergy in the game, but she does bring the +2 ethereals, which paired with Amaterasu, Transcended or Elisha or Kane Dorabella, that's basically 8 ethereals only with 4 heroes, which is pretty great, but you do require all of them at 9 stars. So first off, I would like to say some parts about her kit that don't really work well or are not coded well or are bugged. I'm not sure which one of these. But basically, Venus enables all allied heroes to steal shields and holy shields effects from the targets after dealing damage. Well, this issue is the shields and holy shields don't get stolen from AoE abilities, but it's only stolen from one single hero. That is the primary target. Every time a hero, for example, hits a backline, all 3 enemies, the first hero that gets hit will get their shield stolen, but the others won't. I'm not sure if this is a bug or intended, but this does hurt her quite a lot, because if she would steal from everyone, she would be far better hero. Something like a pocket Audrey, that's far easier to trigger because you wouldn't rely on the speed of Audrey, but any allied hero would be able to do that. So if this gets fixed, she will be far better in the PvP, maybe even PvE, but PvE doesn't really have a ton of holy shields as much as PvP does. Another issue with her Oath Force is she says excess healing received by allied heroes is converted into attack and defense at a rate of 15%, which is true, but it has a hidden cap that they don't mention anywhere. So this is capped to an extent. It's pretty broken. It will increase the damage of your allies by a lot. Issue is, because it's capped, it kind of limits how Venus can buff your team, because it doesn't go infinite as it should, because there's no any written cap in the Oath Force kit. Another issue is when allied hero's shield is broken or expires, there's a 100% chance to trigger their ultimate with a damage multiplier of 100% at 8 stars. The issue with this is, if a lot of shields get broken at the same time, only one single ally will use their ultimate. So in PvP this is quite a big bug, I would say, that has to be fixed. If her Oath Force should be working, that if all 5 allies get their shields broken, all 5 should return the ultimate damage to the enemy team. So her Oath Force overall is pretty bugged, and I'm not sure if it will be fixed or if it's intentional to work that way. But despite all of this, she's still a great hero. She's still strong at 8 stars. Before 8 stars, she's quite weak, and I wouldn't suggest using her because she's just a weaker version of Audrey. But at 8 stars, she becomes far stronger and is really a top pick for both ethereal teams and in high-end PvE. The reason why that is because the attack increase from the excessive healing is truly a lot, and on top of that she brings a lot of additional ultimates or other actions to the team, because shields break whether by duration or whether you take damage. Shields will break anyway and your heroes will use ultimates, so this is a big improvement in PvE. She's like a better version of Sorijan Ayushta. That's why she works even in high-end PvE. In PvP and GVG modes, excess healing received by allied heroes is converted into shields. This additionally helps her trigger more ultimates, but I didn't really pay attention because there's no currently live PvP game modes that I can test this in, but I'm going to assume that this works. So I also checked or rather tested her runes and they do work. I have seen her sharing the heals she receives, so they do definitely work. It also increases the crit damage, which is nice. Are they worth spending money on? In my opinion, no, but you will get them for sure once they are free to get in 2 seasons. So apart from these flaws and everything, she's truly a great hero, but she does require 8 stars. Without 8 stars, she's not really usable or good. She gets far better at 9 stars because she brings +2 ethereals into the team, and her speed is really great, especially if she gets a skin at the end of the season. This speed will be 132, which is a lot. That's the fastest ethereal probably in the game that we have right now. So for example, let's take a look at this battle where we use Katrina for the shields, and then we use Atrupus and Diochan for the additional attack boosts, and or Lucifer will get our allies to not use basic attacks. So we will have a lot of ultimates going around, increasing attack of all of our allies. On top of that, Atropus also heals, which also grants the team additional attack. So we can see that we are getting additional heals and shields, and anytime shield is broken, our allied hero will ult, but anytime the heal happens, you will see that there's additional increase in the attack, but eventually it caps out, so it doesn't show anymore, and you can notice it's not showing right now. That means it's been capped out and you can't increase the attack anymore from the Venus, which is pretty terrible in my opinion. She should be unlimited, which will allow her far more reach and far more usability in PvE, maybe even make her one of the best supports in the game by far. As you have seen, Dao-chan does insane damage right there, but yeah, overall this is just a setup of a lot of shields to trigger a lot of ultimates. Eventually these ultimates will stop working, or rather start breaking, because of the duration of the shields is like 2 or 3 rounds. All of our allied heroes will start ulting like crazy. Her damage isn't all that bad at all, as you have seen, her damage is quite insane. We are also using the newest relic to increase the shields and heals, which kind of helps Venus stack up the shields and additional attack, but it's not really necessary. But as you can see, this team is working really well. It's like it cleared like around 4, or already one enemy hero is down, and pretty much all of them will be down very soon. As you can see, round 5 all of them are dead. You can also kind of do this with other heroes like Pandora, but you can't do this with someone like Yorm, so she's in a way better buffer than Yorm with legendary runes. I have tried this a lot and it worked. As for the PvP team, I do run her in this team, so the usual ethereals I have replaced the other ethereal, or rather the Fate hero I would usually run here, like Hela or Lucifer or Victoria. I run Lucifer in the second team now, but I did usually run Lucifer in this team. So this team is pretty great. I have seen it beat a lot of teams. It's really strong. It beat even the Avengers occasionally, so Ethereals beating Avengers is not something that should be happening a lot, but I'm running a lot of shields in this relic combo. I'm running the CC clear. The Scepter also clears enemy Lucifer or Hela stack, so it's pretty amazing relic, one of the best relics in the game for the PvP. And yeah, overall this team is quite strong. And despite my enemy being lower in the power, since I don't have stronger enemies in Yggdrasil, I'm kind of forced to test on him. But yeah, overall this team will win, I'm pretty sure, because enemy Avengers simply just can't outscale my Ethereals and the damage that Arcane Arabella does when help the scaling from Lilith and the scaling from the Venus, as well as the 7 Ethereal synergy. It's just nothing they can do about it. As you can see, I did have seal on enemy Aphrodite. That's coming from this relic, so it works occasionally, not all the time, but Arcane Arabella just does her own thing with Amaterasu. Amaterasu also does kind of insane damage, but Venus, as you have seen, this damage is pretty insane. So there's nothing really enemies can do to this team apart from CCing it permanently, which can't really happen because of the Scepter on my team. Although most of the times the matchup becomes whether Aphrodite can steal a pretty critical hero. If she can't, such as Arcane Arabella, then they simply lose. In this case, the enemy has Behemoth and a pretty similar team to mine, except they don't have Venus like I do, but they do have Lucifer, so they have the speed advantage, so they will basically freeze me first, so I won't be able to move until my Scepter triggers. So he has a bit stronger team for the first round, but I can counter all of that with just one single relic, which is the Scepter. And as you can see, after the Scepter procs, there's nothing that enemy can really do at all, because I will just continue freezing them instead of them freezing me. So it's basically a matchup of who can snowball the freeze. And because I I get to use the scepter to cleanse their stuns, I'm the one that will win this battle, despite enemy team having Lucifer on the team. So the overall conclusion for Venus is it's a high tier support that elevates Ethereals to new heights of PvP. Despite them being really strong, she just makes them far stronger. Even though she's kind of bugged in 3 parts of her kit, which are pretty big bugs in my opinion that limit her, she could be far better. If any of them get fixed, then she will shine even more to the tiers that maybe even one of the best supports in the game, and even dealing damage as a support is quite insane. So apart these 3 bugs, she's really great, but she does require 8 stars. You get 1 copy for free, so if you can summon 2, you will be golden, but until then you should just focus on the Fate heroes, especially someone like Lucifer to 8 stars, into Hela to 8 stars. Missing 1 Fate summon means you're basically behind the other players for the sum you summoned, for the sum that you have missed. And if they did 1 full Fate, you're basically behind 2 ones on them. So doing Fate is the most important thing, and if you can afford the old heroes, that's pretty great. Venus, I believe, will be the best hero out of this season because just of how versatile she is and how many actions she provides and how easy she is to cap with her healing. So overall, I do believe getting Venus to 8 stars isn't a mistake, especially if you can get her to 9 stars eventually to get +2 Ethereals. And obviously I will run the giveaway on this video, so you know what to do. If you don't leave your Discord username, you will not be able to participate. And yeah, just comment your Discord username and that's it. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.